Sadashivaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namah 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 Sadashivaya Om Namo Narayanaya.
Jai Guru. Pranams at the holy lotus feet of our beloved Guru, Poojya Swami Bhoomananda Tirtha ji. Pranams to Swami Nirvisheshananda Tirtha ji. Pranams to Ma Guru Priya ji. We welcome all of you to the Gurupoornima retreat. This year, as you know, after more than 2 years, we are having the retreat in the ashram with participants arriving from different places in India and the world, and we are very happy that all of you are here joining us. To all of you joining and participating from around the world online, we welcome all of you as well. We have been looking forward to this retreat. There was a period of uncertainty when it seemed like COVID has become active again, but we were very reassured when the medical authorities said that we can go ahead. The Gurupoornima retreat is of great significance. In the ashram, it is the main event on our calendar. In addition to the Gurupoornima day, the Gurupoornima retreat, there are many associated activities which we have been sharing with you online during the global satsangs. We have requested Poojya Swamiji today to start the retreat by explaining to us what is the significance and why should one travel all the way to be in the Guru Sangha. As you know, in our tradition, this Chaturmasya period is one in which all of us try to go to the Guru Sannidhi, and if we can't go there, we undertake some study of the scriptures. Gurupoornima, Poojya Swamiji always emphasizes the importance and the ancients of this tradition, the worshipping of the teacher, and those of us who are blessed and fortunate enough to be actually in the presence of the Guru. This period of undertaking the study under his guidance, I think there is no greater fortune for any of us. We would be requesting Poojya Swamiji to commence. After that, we are requesting Notun Swamiji and Ma just for a few words to share their thoughts and feelings. And then, as is the tradition in the ashram retreat, we would be requesting the participants to introduce themselves. As you know, our program may extend beyond the normal time. The first day's program, because the participants are introducing and all of us want to know them, sometimes does extend. It may go beyond 9:30, but of course, all of you out there watching online have the option of revisiting and seeing it again at a more suitable time. So with this, we request Poojya Swamiji to commence. Jai Guru.
Shuddho buddho vimuktaha Shrudishikharagiram mukhyatahat pariyabhumihi Yasmajjahatam samastam Jagadidam amrtat vyapya sarvam sthito yaha yasyam sham shavataraihi suranaravanajayir rakshidam sarvametad tam bhumanam mukundam hridigatam amalam krishnameva prapadye tam bhumanam mukundam hridigatam amalam krishnameva prapadye Madhya hridayakashe sadanandamayo guruhu udetu satatam samyak swatmananda prabodhakaha. Hari, Hari, Hari Om Tats Jai Guru. We shall together chant Omkara 3 times in chorus. In order to do that, interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect. Close your eyes. Open the mouth as well as the mind and heart and join me. But wish and will mentally that our joint recitation, this chorus sound, should permeate the whole of the earth, showering its benedictions on all creatures upon the earth. This expansion of the mind is what we seek to achieve through the retreat even. The real sadhana is only for purifying the mind, expanding the mind, elevating it, enriching it, empowering it at every point, and finally leading us to fulfillment. Hari. Normally we breathe and the lungs do not become full. The upper lobes are not getting sufficient air. So breathe deeply so that the lungs are full and then chant. You will find a great difference. Very good, very good. All of you have come to Narayanashrama Tapovanam. There are so many ashrams in India and outside also. But what is ashram? What is it supposed to represent and also pursue and bestow on the people? Understand that ashram is a source of knowledge and fulfillment. It's an abode where knowledge is disseminated, knowledge is offered. We have actually 2 kinds of dana. People do not generally know about and speak about one dana. They generally speak about dravya dana, material giving. Annadana, vastradana and so many other things. All of them are used only by the body. Any material that you are giving, if it is to be consumed, it has to be consumed by the body alone. But are we body alone? If you think of the human personality as a composite Our body is only one part of it, the external gross part. It completely consists of matter, and matter is insentient and inert. Our material, physical body, inert, it is always animated by something different from the body, and that is inside. So you tell me whether body is the sole important factor or the other. Now, what is inside the body? The inner personality consists of only three constituents. One is the feelingful, thinking and emotional mind. The other is the rational, exploring, enquiring and discovering intelligence. Then for coordinating all functions, we also have an ego. We don't speak much about it. Let us keep it away. What is the food or nourishment for this inner personality? For the body, it is food and drink, dress to wear, and a place to live. What about the mind and the intelligence? The inner personality is more important than the body, because it is this inner personality that animates and activates the senses and the body. So which is more important? Which is the real substratum? What is the food and nourishment for it? Have you ever thought about it? What is the nourishment for your mind as you feed the body? You feed the body 4 or 5 times a day. We are spending about 2.5 or 3 hours to look after the body, bodily needs, including answering the calls of nature. Parallelly or correspondingly, how much time do you spend with the mind and the intelligence? We are using them, but we are never nourishing them. How many times shall I say this? We are using them. Every time you think, every time you also reason. So we employ the mind and the intelligence, but we don't give health to it. In our body, 380 million or so, I am subject to correction, cells are being manufactured every day. And most of the manufacture takes place during sleep. Sleep is an essential factor to remain awake thereafter. If for 16 hours we are awake, we are 8 hours asleep. Because without the sleep resource, wakefulness cannot be. So we are spending so much for the sake of the body. 8 hours sleep and 2.5 to 3 hours in wakefulness to attend the body. Correspondingly, tell me, is there anyone here who spends proportionately some time to nourish your mind and to nourish your intelligence? This is not taking place. That is why the world, the human world, is not all right. Spend time with your mind. Spend time with your intelligence. Feed them, nourish them, make them healthy, vibrant, resourceful. Everybody has got a conventional mind, always complains about the mind. My mind is not all right. My mind is not all right. It is getting agitated. It is getting afflicted. It is this, it is that. Arey, what is this? Have you ever understood what the mind is? Listen to me. Mind is a treasure that you have. You are not able to evaluate what potential the mind has, what majesty and magnitude human mind has. Similarly, our intelligence. The entire human world has become civilized. What all things we have made upon the earth, it is all a contribution of our intelligence, mind you. Both of them are very resourceful. In the ashram, what is happening? We are transmitting, we are disseminating, we are propagating the knowledge and the source of knowledge. In the academic centers, you only have subjects, various subjects, physics, chemistry, etc., as I said perhaps this morning. Nowhere is the human personality discussed and the sources it contains or it holds within itself. An ashram is an abode for satsang. What is satsang? Satsang is a session when the sat, what is real in the whole existence, that is repeatedly revealed, emphasized, described, explained and reinforced. And what is this retreat? Retreat is a period of life where you get a kind of a long period. 7 days is it's not very small, quite big. 7 days or 6 days time you have in one stretch whereby you will be able to imbibe the benefits of satsang into your system. Suppose you come here, listen to a talk and go away. Till you listen, your mind will be full of material and worldly thoughts. And after the session ends also, the same thing happens. But here you are trapped, so to say, for 7 days. The very remaining in this ashram for 7 days, according to me, whether you accept it or not, it's an austerity for you. For 7 days, we don't want you to think of anything at all. Don't transact any business. Don't bring the home here. Take the ashram home. We don't want your homes to be brought here. You have come here, that is more than sufficient. Let the home affairs remain there. Suppose there is any emergency, these are days, communications are available, you can listen to, but normally you should not. The 7 days should be faithfully devoted to the welfare of your own mind and intelligence, the introspection necessary for the purpose. Try to pursue it, engage yourself in it. Normally, people do not have any chance to have satsang. Will you ever have a satsang at home? Normally not. Now, this is Ashadha month. In the whole of Kerala, invariably all Hindu houses, particularly who are educated, they read Ramayana. That is an austerity they perform. Anything becomes austere when you do something not ordinarily being done. Taking the time and doing something special, it becomes an austerity. Similarly, dropping what you do regularly, that is also an austerity. Suppose you miss 1 meal a day, then it becomes austerity. If 1 or 2 days of the week you go to a temple regularly, spend some time, half an hour, it becomes an austerity. So this is an austerity for you. Taking 7 days of your life, and you may have arrived 1 day earlier, including that 7 days, we are going to be exposed only to the satsang. All the other times you are exposed to the world and world objects. Here you will be exposed to, through our words, only to what? As I said earlier, what is invisible to you. Your mind is invisible. Your intelligence is invisible. Your ego is invisible. The I which you are constantly referring to is also invisible. But these are what contain the mystery of the entire creation. Mystery of the entire creation. The material world has not come from another matter. Then I will ask where from the other matter came. Ultimately you will have to say the whole matter has come from non-matter. It cannot come from matter. The first parent would not have been born from another set of parents. So here you will find we discuss the invisible domain. You know, everything in the external world is visible, perceptible to the senses. What is not perceptible to the senses, shall I stand up and talk? What is not perceptible to the senses can only be within one's body. The second part is what I want to emphasize. What is beyond the senses is within our body. Is there anything? Yes, we have a mind, we have intelligence. Everything is of the mind, all experience belongs to it. This invisible domain That is where the reality is. The true existence prevails there. The entire world is evanescent, perishable. It is fleeting. If there is a non-fleeting something in the world, it is within our body and it is characterized by the I. Tell me, whether the I has changed any time. Tell me. Huh? Has it changed over the years? Is there anything else in this world which is changeless? Our sun is going to be cold one day. We will not be alive. It will become cold. The earth also will not remain what it is. Everything is subject to change. The whole pursuit that we are suggesting, describing, trying to instill in all of you is mento-intellectual pursuit. It is a mento-intellectual pursuit. All that I want for this pursuit is your mind and your intelligence. You can read, you can hear, that's all. But the whole process is worked by the mind and the intelligence. So I would like you to say repeatedly that spirituality is a mento-intellectual pursuit. Say that. Only the mind is applied, the intelligence is applied. The intelligence is applied to know about it well, and the mind is applied to pursue and practice it. Here there is no lighting of a lamp, no collection of flowers and offering them. Thoughts, feelings, introspection and findings are the material offered, if at all, to the Paramatma inside your body. Yes, you have to offer what? Products of the mind and products of intelligence. That is why all of you have come here. We are telling you, every word of us, every word of anybody is a unit measure of knowledge. Every sound, every letter, every word is what is it? It is knowledge alone. This knowledge you imbibe by hearing. That is why search all our Puranas, epics and other things, you will find whenever there is a crisis, somebody talks. After 13 years of long preparation, Arjuna came to the battlefield of Kurukshetra to fight the unprecedented war and become more glorious. But poor Arjuna was not able to fight at all on seeing Bhishma and Drona. One is the grandfather who had put him on his lap. Arjuna had no father, father died, and was feeding him morsels of food. He is the commander-in-chief on Duryodhana's side. The other is the teacher. He has learned all the archery from the teacher. And what he has learned from the teacher, he has to use against the teacher. Can you imagine? Will you be able to perform well? So Arjuna was completely, it was a great consternation for him. He said, I will not fight. And what did Krishna do? Krishna provided satsang for him. What? Satsang for him for 2.5 hours. Where? In the battlefield of Kurukshetra. When? Even after the war cries had been raised and arrows were about to be discharged. At that critical point, the dialogue took place. And that dialogue was a satsang. It was so beautiful a satsang that we are not fighters, we are not in the battlefield, but we patiently read it in our homes, in halls like this. Explain it. Just like Krishna spoke to Arjuna, sage Vasishtha spoke to Sri Rama in the palace of Ayodhya for 18 days from morning to evening. That was also a satsang. Krishna's satsang settled everything for Arjuna. He had left his bow and arrow. He said, I take back. I will fight, if necessary, a score of Mahabharata wars, he said. Rama was absolutely depressed. He was in total agony. Vasishtha called him, asked him, what are you suffering from? After hearing him, he began to converse with him. So many people in the palace, including his father, Rama's father and mothers, all of them were there for 18 days. When the conversation advanced, Sri Rama sat like this, losing external awareness. Sage Vasishtha had to stop his dialogue. He waited until Rama opened the eyes. Others also had done similarly. See the effect of satsang. Are you with me? Huh? We only have to speak and you only have to hear. Following that, you may introspect over what you have heard. What about Shugamuni? The 16-year-old boy who was a wandering hippie, an Avadhuta, coming to know that Parikshit was already in Prayopavesha and he was sitting on the Darbha, Kusha grass on the bank of Bhagirathi, he himself went there and engaged Parikshit for 6.5 days. Parikshit said, I have absorbed all that you have said. My doubts are gone. I don't fear Takshaka or his bite. I am going to withdraw my senses from the world, mind from the senses, intelligence from the mind, and I am going to be immersed in my own inner depth and vastness. I express my gratitude. Bless me, dear Sage. Shukamuni went back the way he came. His job was over. We have the famous instance of Janaka, a great knower of truth who was ruling the throne. Sage Ashtavakra one day intruded into the palace. Without invitation, he went there with his 8 bends. Janaka was holding a session with his scholars, famous. He went there. Seeing his gait, the entire assembly of scholars burst into laughter. Seeing that, the sage also burst into laughter. Janaka on the throne was struck by the whole scene. He got up, went to the sage and asked him, my assembly laughed, I can understand. But my dear sage, why did you laugh? He asked. He said, I laughed. You are supposed to be a great king, a famous king, and you are holding a session with your scholarly people, and these people who are advising you, they could only laugh seeing me walk. As they have their body, I have my body. Our body we are not manufacturing them or designing them. Even today, nobody knows who shapes the child in the mother's womb. Tell me, is there any external agency which has a role in shaping the fetus in the mother's womb? So I was born like this, they were born differently. Should they not, if at all, have greater insight and greater appreciation? Instead of that, they burst into laughter as if in derision. Is the great Janaka taking the advice of these deluded scholars to administer the kingdom? So it made me laugh, he said. King Janaka was baffled. He fell at his feet and said, please instruct me. What is spiritual wisdom? How to cultivate dispassion? How to get liberation? Then, right then, Sage Ashtavakra began to speak. All these are equally satsang. In every speech you will find the Sat, the real, the supreme reality is discussed. We are conducting online sessions these days. Many of you must have heard, or all of you have heard. Apart from listening to online sessions, why should you come here? Have you thought about it? I don't think. If at all you have thought, it is imperfect. Online sessions. What online sessions? Did you interact with the screen? Did you interact with the images? Did the screen nod its head or looking at you. You saw the screen. The screen did not look at you. We have also not looked at you. You have not seen us also. So the online sessions will be no substitute for a direct personal contact and an association. You live here. You live here for 7 days. We are also hot-blooded, we live and move. You can see us. That seeing itself is something very, very effective. People always want to have a living association with a living person. That is why our great thinkers have made a lot of detail about Sri Krishna and wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. How Krishna was conceived, how was he born, how was he taken to Vrindavan soon after the birth, at his own instruction. All the things are given colorfully, so that you can know all the details about Krishna. Such detail do you have about God? Tell me. Some qualities of God are discussed. God is impersonal. God is a presence, a universal presence. How can you describe Him? True description of God will be, He is colorless, odorless, formless, everythingless. That is why He is He is able to be present everywhere. To see Guru is different from to go to a temple and see the idol. The idol will not speak to you. The idol will not know that you have gone there also. But when you go to a Guru, he may welcome you. He will discuss with you, ask you what is the trouble. Just like Krishna inquired from Arjuna, Vasishtha inquired from Sri Rama, Shukamuni inquired from Parikshit. So there is an interaction possible. Suppose you speak about God, anybody speaks about God. Whatever speech is given, another man will speak something else. That is how we have so many religions in the world. So where is the real speech of God? Is it possible? Tell me. चुप रहते हैं क्यों? बोलिए ना थोड़ा. Suppose you see a Guru. He will speak to you independently. In Calcutta, when I was leading my life, professional life there, I used to go to Dakshinakhanda, my Baba's, my Gurudev's place. The very sight of my Gurudev was sufficient. He would speak to any extent when you ask, but he was not, otherwise he would not speak. I could observe him in very close quarters and serve him. Whatever he said, I can remember. It is indisputable. Suppose you say, God said this. Is it acceptable? Somebody is representing God's voice, that's all. But the Guru is independent. You can see him. You can interact with him. You can serve him. He will speak. If you have a doubt or a question, place the question and say, my dear Gurudev, please tell me what I am to do. There will be an answer. So seeing a Guru is quite different from seeing the deities in the temples. The Sadguru influences is not the right word. He blesses and transforms the disciple in 3 ways. In 3 ways. He sees you. His seeing you is different from your mother, father, brother, sister, wife, husband seeing you. His very sight is enlightening. His very sight is spiritualizing. Spirituality alone flows from him. So he always spiritualizes, sublimates, enriches, divinizes you. The look is so important. Our Shastras say, the fishes are living in water. They lay their eggs. As they lay their eggs, they will float off. The fish will not be able to be again close to him. So the fish looks at, and by looking at, they say, the eggs hatch. As the fish looks, so is the look of the Sadguru, our Shastras say. I don't know, this is subject to correction. The turtles, they are living in water. But for laying eggs, they will come to the land, shore. And they will make a hole and lay eggs there and cover it up and go. Thereafter, they only think of the eggs and they get hatched. Are you with me?
Yes.
Then the third is by touch. Sometimes he will place his hand on your head or pat you. Rarely he may do so. That is something like the birds hatching. See, their eggs. They cover it up and warm it up. And by that warmth they get hatched. This is the threefold way a Sadguru interacts with the disciple. My proximity with my Gurudev was everything for me. I never wanted anything else. He will speak without any teeth at all, so that speech itself was beautiful for me. When I used to remember. And he used to speak with a Bengali accent. That also was very nice. I could understand what the goal was and how the goal is represented in one. How does he speak? How does he manifest himself? What does he do? Everything we was able to. I wanted to realize the truth, which in better words, realizing the self, realizing God. So how to, you see, it is human realization of God. It is not God realizing the human realizing God. So where is that human who has realized God and how can I find him? Then only there is a parallelism between us. So I could understand. So Guru is the first and last word in spiritual seeking. Once you have the Guru and the right association, I don't think there will be any further quest at all. Coming to an ashram is not like going to any other place. To be here for a week or more, it's a great austerity, as I have mentioned. Here you have a physical proximity and you can hear. From a temple you cannot hear. From a holy place you have no words to collect, but here you have. Whatever anybody speaks on behalf of God, saying, I am God, it is subject to debate, discussion, etc. The Guru is articulating. A real Guru is described by Shankara in a beautiful way. Shloka. What is that beginning, Ma? Shrotriyo avrijino agamahatoyo brahmavittama. He must be educated in the scriptures. Otherwise disciples will go to him. They may be led by the scriptures. So when they ask some doubts, he may not be able to answer. So he has to be duly educated. In our scriptures, we have got very good scriptures. Avrijino. He should not have a sinful life. In his life, that purity should be the whole display. Akamahato. He should not be smitten by fostering any desire whatsoever. Yo Brahmavittamaha. His knowledge of Brahman and truth should be sufficient, mature, supreme. Bandhurānamatam sadhām. He acts as a friend of those people who come to him, prostrate before him seeking help. He doesn't say, come, I will help. He will not tom-tom. He will remain where he is, and people who go to him and seek help, he offers help. See, the Guru articulates, speaks. Finally, is it all Guru's order? No, not at all. Krishna instructed Arjuna, answered all the questions Arjuna raised. Initially, he only wanted to get rid of grief. Finally, it became an all-round discussion in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself extended his delivery. So finally, he said, did you hear me well my dear Arjuna? Were you able to concentrate your mind? Where is your delusion now? What about your doubts? He said, I have heard you well. And by your blessing I have understood you well. Krishna said, Yathechasi tatha Guru. His instruction was, as you wish and like, so you do. But Arjuna became different. Initially he was victimized by grief, deluded by the sight. He had so many doubts, etc. That Arjuna is no more there. He has got clarity, enlightenment, peace, stability, poise, harmony. All he had gained. Now he says, you are free to decide what you want. Initially Krishna said, don't retreat. Now he says, anything you do. See, this is how satsang works. You can all observe what is taking place in the ashram, how we people are. Our disciples and brahmacharis are here. You can also interact with them. But, I would like you to remember, do not gossip. Whenever you have free time, discuss what we spoke each time. You can discuss about it between yourselves. But the subject of discussion should be satsang. By the speech you should create a satsang. It should be a satsang for both of you. And do not indulge in too much of telephone talk and discuss too many household affairs if you can. You have come to fill you with the satsang. Household you already have. I would like you to make notes every day. Whenever you go to your room, you must have something to write. If you don't have a notebook and you want one, express your need as is generally directed here and then. I would like you to outlive your present stage. Whatever stage you are in, by enlightenment, by getting more and more clarity, knowledge, etc., you must be able to outlive it. For outliving, don't say, I need time. No time. Arjuna did not ask for time. Rama did not ask for time. Parikshit did not ask for time. Janaka also did not ask for time. Swamiji, all that you have said is intellectually clear to me. Then it's going to be sensorily clear. 5 plus 3, 8. What further do you want there? Every time you want me to bring 5 and 3 and join together and make you count? See, when it is exposed to you, that exposure you absorb. After listening to it, don't leave it. It is X, it is X, it is X, it is X, it is X. Hammer it in your brain and bring about the changes. I am tired of telling people, there is nothing like an intellectual knowledge to be followed by some other knowledge. To distinguish colors, we have the eyes. When the eyes see, that is the end of it. Similarly, where the intelligence alone works, that itself is the final. What governs the judge of the court? He considers all the evidences, witnesses, etc. and finally he is driven to conclusion by his intelligence. And that is the final. In a democratic country, final word is from the Supreme Court. Our pursuit is not a time-bound pursuit or a place-bound pursuit. It is a mind-bound and intelligence-bound pursuit. As long as you have the mind and the intelligence, you can pursue this path. You don't need anything else. Lyingly, while taking bath, answering the calls of nature, any time and every time you can do your manana. Unless you do the manana, you do the introspection, this pursuit is not going to do. There are 2 focuses in our pursuit. One focus is the inner self represented by the I. Everything that we speak here will be centered on the self within, or the omnipresent God or Brahman. The external focus is on the omnipresent God, and the internal focus is on the self. Nothing else, mind you. And in truth, the self itself is God. Think of the self wholeheartedly, as much as you can. See God in everything. You don't have to think about the self. You are the self. Are you not saying I? Huh? What is it referring to? Is there any other word by which you can refer to the self? Boliye na thoda. Is there any other word by which you can refer to the self? You are already saying I. So what do you have to do further? Understand it. My word I refers to the supreme reality which is animating in the form of an inner presence, my body, senses, etc. And see God everywhere, in everything. Whatever be, good, bad or indifferent, happiness or unhappiness, virtue or vice, noble or ignoble, learn to see God everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. We have some disciples, they always tell me that after listening to us, they go on discussing between themselves on the telephone. Sometimes talk to the granddaughter and pass the message, they discuss. Similarly, you must also be having such discussions. That is possible. I always remember what Nutun Swamiji told me when he came here earlier. He told me that I must have 1 hour satsang with you or 1 hour of spiritual reading every day. I don't think anybody has told me in my life like this. To bear the day, to run the day, I want 1 hour of satsang or 1 hour of reading. That is also a satsang. Ma used to say, in the kitchen when she cooks, she always said, I don't want anybody to talk to me. I want to give exclusive attention to what I do. These two I am telling you so that it is a model for you. You must have every day after going away from here at least 1 hour of satsang. If you cannot get it from outside, get it yourself by reading a proper book. The benefits of this satsang will be, this retreat will be, what are the benefits? You will come to know about your composite personality. Your personality is a composite, and the body is only the visible gross part in it. You will know what is besides the body and what are the potentials, majesty, magnitude, potential and magnificence of what you call the mind, intelligence and ego. The benefit, if you ask me, will be enriching for you. And when you get enriched, your contribution to the world also becomes enriched. Your activity and interaction should be enriching you every time, whatever may be the consequences outside. And when you get enriched, your contribution also will be enriching the world. Every day there will be more and more enlightenment and fulfillment. I think these are the benefits that you are going to get. Mark my words. Your mind will be enriched, your intelligence will be enlightened, you will feel more and more the integrated nature of the personality, how you should be, what you should be. The power to assimilate the impacts of the world also increases. And when something is assimilated, it instantly becomes enrichment. These are the benefits that you can think of. Okay.
We offer our wholehearted pranams to Poojya Swamiji. With so much of inspiration, I think Swamiji has provided to all of us. I could see everyone here was feeling very connected and nodding. And for those of you watching online, this is a unique opportunity that even in your homes, if you follow the retreat program, withdrawing to the maximum extent possible from interactions which can be postponed or situations and talks which can be the benefit of the retreat, although you are not here, would surely be available to everyone. As Swamiji said, our entire focus should be on how to integrate, how to assimilate. When Swamiji, Nuthan Swamiji and Ma were discussing about this particular retreat, there was a lot of talk about how the retreat would be different from the global satsangs. As you know, 86 to 87 global satsangs have been live streamed from the ashram, from each of them. So that's 86 times 3. And no doubt all of us have benefited tremendously. Our base of the scriptures, our understanding of concepts has improved, has clarified. One of the participants was telling me today, by hearing the YouTube on Bhagavad Gita, many of the words, the definitions, the terms, his understanding improved so tremendously. But as they discussed, what they want for all of us here for this period of 1 week is how to integrate, how to make it our own. So with that in mind, Nuthan Swamiji's session is going to be an interactive one, introspection based on Bhagavad Gita. Introspection, all of us do feel that we are doing it, but how we do it, the manner in which we think, and most importantly, whether we achieve the goal of introspection, the clarity that we are looking for, that is something I think those of us who have been fortunate enough to attend the Enlightened Living Retreats with Nuthan Swamiji, where he regularly has introspection sessions, can share their benefit. So Nuthan Swamiji's session would be there tomorrow morning from 8:30 to 9:30. Ma was deciding what she should share with all of us. As you know that in her global satsangs, there is a very heavy dose of Vedanta we have been getting from Ma. But the dose that Ma gives us is in such a sweet manner, giving so many examples from daily life, from her sadhana, from what goes on in the ashram. All of us are able to swallow the dose, even if we are not always able to understand it or actualize it in our lives. So when Ma was thinking what her session should be on, how to link all of us to the experience of being in the ashram. As you all know, Ma has renounced and been in the ashram for more than 3.5 decades. And she has been sharing her experience. So it was finally decided that Ma would speak on imbibing the qualities of a knower. And Ma said that she has often spoken on this topic also during her global satsangs. So what is the difference over here? Well, Ma is going to be interviewed by all the ashramites, one by one, over the next 6 days, where we would be asking her particular things which have struck us about ashram life, where she would be sharing with us how to move forward, what are the shlokas which we used. And by doing this, I don't know if you all know, we do mention it, that Ma is often the anchor and the guide for all of us. In which way? Not in the way like Swamiji teaches us or Nuthan Swamiji teaches us, but as we run into the hurdles of sadhana, the hurdles of being a renunciate, the hurdles of our own mind, Ma is the one I think all of us go to, and she is the one who helps us figure it out and move forward. So we are experimentally trying to create a session by which we can share with you the same experience, and we hope that all of you here as well as outside would be able to gain the benefit that all the ashramites have had over the years. So Ma's session, Imbibing the Qualities of a Knower, is from 2 to 3:15 in the afternoon. And after the evening prayer, I forgot to tell you about the morning and evening prayers. They are also being webcast. The morning prayer will be from 6 o'clock and the evening prayer from 5:45. Then at 8 o'clock every day, we would be gathering together for Poojya Swamiji's session. Poojya Swamiji's session, Self-Realization, the Supreme Treasure, is based on Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. Swamiji says that he would also be addressing any questions that those of us who are here or those of you who are out there watching on the YouTube have. You're welcome to send your questions into ashram@bhumananda.org. You all must have seen the retreat schedule. It starts in the morning with the prayer. It's followed by Nutun Swamiji's session. At 10 o'clock, we would be offering flowers and doing pranams to Swamiji, to Nutun Swamiji and Ma. And Swamiji would be having a short talk at that time as well. After that, the next session would be Ma Guru Priyaji's from 2 to 3:15. Then evening prayer and Poojya Swamiji's session. So it's fairly intensive and it's a unique opportunity for all of us to immerse ourselves completely. We are requesting Nutun Swamiji and Ma to please share their thoughts, and after that we would be requesting the participants, asking you one by one to come and give us a brief self-introduction. Jai Guru.
Volume. Actually, Swamiji has said everything, whatever we wanted to communicate. So I don't have anything particularly to say, except the difference of listening to the talks over the internet and thoda base kam karo and participating live in the live sessions from here. All of you will have to say how you felt about the difference, but to me actually it appears to be like whatever the speaker speaks, it is not just the words are used as a vehicle. What the speaker communicates is a direct communication with the help of the words. The words go to your mind, the intelligence is activated through the whatever expression the speaker is trying to do, that purifies us, our intelligence, our mind. It's a direct process. If you are attentive, you should be able to feel the difference that in just a listening over the YouTube or wherever, it is not like that. It's a direct communication. We are only taking the help of the words in that process. To approach from this intelligence to your intelligence, we are making a bridge through the words. But actually it is a direct communication. And if the more we can receive that direct communication, so much will be the benefit. So for that, what we need, I generally say that we need two things. One is the receptivity. That means whatever is spoken of, you should be able to grasp and absorb it directly. That is the receptivity, which happens provided we are very humble in listening, rather than using our backlog, whatever we have, not backlog, our past sanchaya, the collection, whatever we have. Always the mind will reflect on that, bring the old concepts into the process to understand what Swamiji is saying. It may not match with whatever concept we have, or it may give some other direction. But the main thing is, the main hindrance comes from the past concepts, whatever we have already formed. So we need to do manana on whatever we are receiving to purify whatever ideas, and so that the ideas can develop properly. But at the same time, if we, during the lecture, during the communication, if we can keep a little open mind, forgetting about whatever concepts we have formed and trying to understand in that perspective, whenever we are understanding from our originally gathered idea, the things will not go to that extent as it can go straight away if you keep our mind free. Just now remembered, Baba used to say that Kora kagaj means the fresh paper on which nothing is written. If the Kora kagaj is the best disciple, that means if it is fresh, open mind, everything goes and has its best replica over there. Whatever it is, in 1 year or 2 years, everything will not be to the state. But whatever impressions are having, we are able to get, that will be much deeper and more correct what the speaker is wanting to. I don't know whether I am making it too complicated. So that is will happen when we are humble, we are open, and we keep our backlog away. Later on we can do the manana and compare notes with whatever we have listened. But while listening, we would like you to have a very open, fresh mind, not with the, in Bengali we say hiji biji kata, that means on the paper there is so much of crisscross things are there, over which if you write, you will not be able to understand what is written. That is one thing. Another is what Swamiji was mentioning, that gossip. It may not be gossip, but what happens is that unless we, throughout the day, we keep it in the mind, the retention will be much less, the retentivity will be lost. In Sanskrit we call it dhriti. Dhriti means dharana kshamata. So if we are, throughout the day we are thinking of other things over the mobile or amongst ourselves, or always thinking of the world in a different manner, then the retentivity will not be there. Even if you have receptivity, retentivity is another quality which needs a wholesome dedication from you. Without that, the retentivity with Riti will not come. So, that is what I meant, that if we can go that way with lot of receptivity and retentivity, but at the same time, I'd like to give a correction here, that it doesn't mean that you will not speak to the people, you will not have a very loving concern with all the colleagues or whatever we are, our co-disciples or co-seekers. The Vedantic knowledge should never make you isolated. Isolation will be there inside, but that will be an all-embracing isolation. So, why am I saying it? In this community life of 7 days, you should be free, always ready to help each other and help the ashram also in every matter, whatever comes to your mind. And as Swamiji has said, that if you can write a diary every day, noting down whatever has taken place very openly. If your behavior has been wrong, write it down. It will be a great lesson for everybody. If your thoughts have been wrong, then also write down that you have spent a lot of time in just simply withering away the strength we have got. Actually, the more we speak just lightly or worldly manner, whatever we are gathering, that gets attenuated, that gets dissipated. So keeping that kind of a poised personality, very collected personality, at the same time having concern and love for all the people we are meeting, the ashram people, the workers, the assistants, the other co-seekers. I believe that will be a very good orientation of our mind, which you will be able to understand. You will be able to understand the benefit of it also. We would like you at the end of it, as generally we ask you to give feedback. That day you may give the feedback, but you should start writing from now on, so that you can give a reasonably accurate picture of what happened during the... It's a great experiment. Everything we are doing is an experiment. So, in our country, we are not generally recording the experimental results. But to the extent we can do, we will be benefited according to that also. So, a diary writing every time, every night, going back, or whatever timing is available. And having enough communication, open communication, particularly with us, although we will not be available when you want, maybe, but to the extent we are available, you should be free to ask that I would like to speak about this, when can I speak or something. We try to spend as much time as possible with the visitors. I think that's the other things we will speak during the lectures. I think Ma can add what?
Ma.
Jai Guru, Pranam Swamiji, and love to all of you. I was listening to Swamiji, what he told about the retreat and how it can benefit all of you. And then Nuttan Swamiji spoke. And then I was feeling quite surprised as well as amused that although we have not discussed between ourselves, I think our thoughts are the same for you. So I found that whatever I have been wanting to tell, all that has been told already. So there is nothing much to tell from my side, except I feel, when one after another Swamiji and Nuttan Swamiji spoke, I was thinking of the time when I came here as a visitor first, and then later as a renunciate. And in the very beginning, Swamiji told me, do nothing. Do nothing. Simply be a small girl of 12 years. Just be in the ashram. Be very relaxed at home. And whatever you learn by watching and observing, learn that. This should be your attitude. So I feel like telling that to all of you. Be very relaxed. Feel very much at home. This place is yours. And you have, by some kind of blessing of God, all of you have come here to be at the feet of a master, of a self-realized master, who is so approachable and who wants to always just shower his blessings and his knowledge to whoever wants it. So your mind should be filled with that kind of a feeling of blessedness and gratitude. If you do that, you will find everything becomes easy. You need not have the feeling that, oh, what will I gain? What will I benefit? Am I gaining? Am I benefiting? Nothing like that. Just be yourselves as you are, and let all that is being showered as wisdom, let it go into you, into your mind and intelligence, soak you, drench you. That is what will be yours. And this is a very unique time. All of you have chosen to be here for not only 7 days, actually coming and going makes it about 10, for some people it is about 12 days, that you have chosen to come away from your worldly life, your own distractions there, your regular activities there, and to be in this atmosphere is something very great. Then you must understand that you have done it. You have done it, and understand also that you have come to a place which is very, very different from the house or the world where you live in. You may find many things similar to what your house also has. Chairs, tables, light, fan, air conditioned, car, all kinds of facilities, gadgets, everything that you have, and you may be having more. But this place runs around spirituality, divinity, and your only work will be to understand that. To understand that. How will you understand? Playfully, sportfully, lovingly, watchingly, observingly, and be drenched by that. This whole place is around spirituality. You see anything, maybe it is the Annakshetra, maybe this hall, you are going to your guest houses, sometimes you may go for a walk, go to the temple, you mix with each other, our workers, our staff, our brahmacharinis, the sadhaks here. In everybody, we are only having that attitude of spirituality and divinity in our mind, where, as Swamiji was saying, the only aim is to feel and understand the universal presence, the omnipresence outside and inside, to be anchored in our real self, what we are. Through everything we must be anchored. Whatever you are doing here, say you have come, your regular activities are not there, the distractions are not there. So keep away your worries, anxieties, distractions, all kinds of thoughts which come, but see the divinity here. Find the spiritual rhythm that is, it is circling and encircling everything that happens here. That will be a great, what should I say, a treasure which will be yours. And about this writing, you must have known, some of you must be knowing, the book that I had written, In the Company of My Lord. So my father read it. He was about more than 85 years old at that time, maybe just nearing 90. And he came to me, when he met me, he said, "How did you write in such detail? How did you write in such detail?" Conversations with Swamiji, the satsangs that I had with Swamiji, I used to write. Whenever I have met Swamiji as a devotee, I have always written things which had struck me, things which I felt I must imbibe, things which I felt will be always beneficial for me. I used to write down. Apart from that, there has been spiritual diaries. My own mind, how it reacts, how it thinks, how it should be purified, how it should be sublimated, how it has thought something in the wrong manner, and what should have been the right attitude. These are very, very important for a seeker. And I think all of you are seekers, and this is a very good time that you can completely immerse yourselves in this seeking and this kind of spiritual life, at least for a few days. So this is what I have to say.
Pranams Ma. I think after hearing Swamiji and you, everyone here is feeling very inspired, even more so. Swamiji, should we start the introduction of the participants? Okay. So we are going to start with Suresh Babuji to come and introduce. Ushaji, you can also come here.
Pranam Swamiji, Jai Guru. Myself is Suresh Babu. I am originally from Kerala, but settled in Bangalore now. with my family, and I work for a multinational company called Schneider Electric as a operations leader. I came to know about the ashram actually 3 years back. I came here once. Swamiji was not here. I met Nutan Swamiji and then again Nutan Swamiji in Bangalore, and we had a couple of satsangs. Since then I have been following in YouTube the Mukti Sudhagaram Bhagavad Gita from Swamiji, and that's how I've been associated in that way. And this time we are here from, Namrata ji did a call on last Saturday, and she says later that it was an accidental call, but we were so excited and joyful when we got the call to be part of Gurupoornima and the retreat. We just immediately decided and we came here. We are really looking forward to become a better version of ourselves when we go out from here and spiritually deepen our sadhanas. We have been practicing. We have had some sadhanas in the past. We had a teacher who was teaching us Bhagavad Gita. She left her body in October, and we think that it is her blessing that and your blessing that we are here together as a family.
On Bhagavad Gita? No.
The lessons.
He may not
It was
No.
it was primarily meant for the global Bhagavad Gita resistance. So you can get
Yes.
approach them and they will tell you the link by which you can get it.
Sure.
Every month I am sending a letter. 4
Okay.
letters have been sent.
Okay.
This month will be 5th.
Thank you.
My name is Usha. How we are associated with Swamiji, he has explained already. So I've been learning Bhagavad Gita and trying to practice it since last 10-12 years. But there are a lot of time when the real life situation comes, we fail to apply the knowledge. So we would like to have a better understanding of spirituality from Guruji, and we are looking for the real satsang, and I would like to take the ashram home, like Swamiji said.
Okay. Very good.
And tomorrow morning our daughter will be joining us. So she's again from, she's working in Bangalore, just finished her MBA and started working 1 year back. And we were lucky enough to have her have some interest in spirituality.
Very good. That
And
is very
so
good.
she'll be joining
Let us
tomorrow.
see. Have
Satsang.
interest at a young age is very good.
She was with you when you came here? She was
Yes,
with you?
yes.
3 of you there.
Yes. And Swamiji gave her a small leaflet.
What's it? I remember.
Yes.
Poojya Swamiji Sagar Pranam, Ma, Nutan Swamiji. Swamiji, I am from Lucknow. My name is Ashok. I am working in zoo as a veterinary
Name?
doctor. My name is Ashok Kashyap.
Acha.
Swamiji, I have met and attended your discourse in 2000 in the Rakesh Bhai house. From that, I am searching you, but I forget everything. But 2 years back in YouTube, I seen your all satsang. I am so much impressed, and I came here for that because I studied so many books for all saints, but the inner condition was not very bad, not very good, not improving in sadhana, not in practicing regularly. So I decided to come here, and I learned from you and Ma the same thing which I required in this retreat. So I think I will get benefit so much from you and your blessing. So I came here. Thank you, Swami.
Okay. Very good, very good.
Pranam Swamiji. My name is Shabnam Banerjee. I am from Kolkata, and by God's grace and will, I just somehow I came to know of you. Like one fine morning, I switched on the TV and you were speaking And though I did not understand anything you were saying, because like Nutan Swamiji was saying, I'm totally Kora Kagas. I have not read spirituality. I had no idea about spirituality. So whatever you were saying, like I was trying to imbibe, and slowly I became so interested and I did not want to leave. And this association started like that with you, then Nutan Swamiji, then Ma. So like the transformation which has already started with those things, with listening to your lectures, I think by coming to this retreat, that will only deepen and my understanding will deepen and I will be enriched, and I think I will become a better person, and maybe I will take the ashram home like you were saying and someone mentioned. So I'll do that, Swamiji.
Very good. That is the way it should be.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Nuttama Swamiji, Pranam Ma. My name is B.K. Sadananda. I come from Bangalore. I am basically an engineer. I was working in BL, and after retirement, I am a lecturer for MBA students and industrial safety. I am doing industrial safety throughout Karnataka, wherever the industries are there, going there, giving advices and auditing, etc., etc. I am doing. Apart from that, my line, apart from the engineering, I was interested in spirituality long ago. About, I can say about some 20-30 years before, maybe about 40 years before, I came across Purnima Tirtha. Purnima Tirtha ji came to Bangalore, where he has written 2 books, Jnana Sudha and Prabodha Sudha, where it has in-depth knowledge. Then one day I came across the Vichara Setu in Ramakrishna Ashram. Thereby I came to know about Swamiji. From that day onwards, I am reading your books as well as hearing the lectures, etc. I feel the pure knowledge or pure only spirituality I am hearing from this ashram, which will be more helpful for us to know more and more about the spirituality and practicable. So I will try to understand as much as possible. The purpose of coming here was there may be so many confusions. From confusion to clarity, this will be the best place, because the realized souls will be meeting and we will be with them. Their blessing itself, I think, will clarify our doubts, and then I can do better to the other peoples also. Thank you.
Very good.
Pranam Guruji. Pranam Mata. I'm Smita Jha from Bangalore. I have been residing in Jharkhand, Jamshedpur for most of my life, but for 4-5 years I am in Bangalore now. I am retired from State Bank of India, and due to professional life I was not much into reading spiritual books or anything, but I have attended your Guruji's program in Jamshedpur, and I wanted to pursue it but could not do it because of lack of time, I can say, but still there was not much interest at that time. But for 4-5 years now, as I have got free, I was looking for something that was missing in my life, like what is the next stage of my life. There is nothing like working is okay, but what to gain from it? What is to gain from my own life? What is there to pursue? I do not know. Then I am reading some spiritual books, and that is a different way. But I found that without Guru, you can't get the real meaning of the books also you can't get. So I was looking for it. My husband helped me that Manoj is coming to this retreat. We should go. and just at the feet of the Guru we will be able to learn something that is missing in our life. So we came here for that. Thank you for inviting me here so that I can learn at your feet. Thank you.
That is a good start.
प्रणाम स्वामी जी, प्रणाम नूतन स्वामी जी, प्रणाम माँ। स्वामी जी, मेरा नाम कौशलेंद्र झा है और अभी हम बंगलोर में रहते हैं। पहले हम लोग जमशेदपुर में ही थे और वहाँ संजोग ऐसा था कि 3-4 बार आपका कार्यक्रम सुनने का भी मौका मिला। उसके बाद में फिर संपर्क एक तरह से हमारा नहीं हो पाया बीच में। अभी कुछ ऐसे तो हम कई संस्थाओं से में काम, वॉलंटियरिंग काम करते हैं, जमशेदपुर में कर ही रहे थे, बंगलोर में भी करते हैं हम लोग। लेकिन फिर भी लगता था कि कुछ कमी है जो कि हमको प्राप्त करना है, तो किसी स्वामी जी से या कहीं से जुड़ने की ज़रूरत है। इसी क्रम में अभी मनोज जी हमारे, हमको पता था कि मनोज जी भी यहाँ आश्रम से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो हमने उनको कहा कि आप अगली बार जब भी चलें तो हम भी चलेंगे आपके साथ में, हमको बहुत इच्छा है। तो अभी अचानक से उनका एक दिन आया कि आपको एप्लीकेशन भेजना है और डेट भी लास्ट हो गया था कि, तो फिर भी हमने कहा कि एप्लीकेशन भेज देते हैं और आपकी कृपा से हमको परमिशन भी यहाँ आने का मिल गया। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य हमको मिल गया कि यहाँ आए और आशा है कि हम यहाँ से बहुत कुछ लेकर जाएंगे।
ठीक है।
Pranam. My name is Kaushik Trivedi and I am from Mumbai. I have been an engineer and I have retired sometime in 2019. I was in the power generation section, earlier with conventional power and later on with renewable energy. My first association with the Narayanashrama Tapovanam was in early 2018. It started because a lot of discussion within the family. My father had been listening to your lectures whenever you were coming to Delhi. My 2 sisters in Delhi had been listening to your lectures whenever you were coming. My son had heard a few lectures and I was the only one felt that I was left out. And there was a lot of discussion about spirituality. I was completely unaware. So in January 2018, along with my wife, along with my sisters, we came and we spent a few days over here. It was a very, very, very nice and sublime stay, and I think that is what made a lot of changes in at least my life. Unfortunately, Nutan Swamiji was not here at that time. There was no retreat going on. Both Ma and you had plenty of time. You spent a lot of time with us, and it was, I can say, a change of direction for me. Afterwards, we have, of course, attended workshops in Delhi, where Nutan Swamiji was there, where both of you were also there sometimes. And this 2 years of Corona, some ways there was no option but to have online satsangs. They had their own advantages. But I think the main thing is that I was starting to feel a little absence of that presence touch, if you like. It's one thing to listen to online satsangs. When there is no option, it is fine. But now that the options have opened up, now that was a physical retreat was being held over here, I felt compelled at least that we must come over here and attend it over here. So that is the reason why I'm here now and hope to benefit from it. Thank you.
Very nice.
This is Preeti Trivedi, my wife. She is a chartered accountant, continues to practice, although at a very lower scale now than what it was earlier. More or less, our associations with the Narayanashrama have been together. So we started in 2018 when she also came along with us, and all the programs that we've attended in Delhi also we've done them together, and we are here together also.
Very good.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Nutan Swamiji, Pranam Maji. I know I first saw Swamiji on TV only. That was my first introduction to Swamiji. I came to the ashram in 2015 April, I remember very well. First visit itself, I personally, Swamiji gave me an interview, and I remember the first sentence I told Swamiji, I didn't come here to tell you any sorrows in my life. I am very happy with my husband. Immediately Swamiji laughed. Swamiji called out for Ma. Ma, come here. See, somebody has come whose husband has never scolded her. This is what she, and Maji also had a good laughter, and we were very happy. We got 1 hour's interview with Swamiji and Maji, and we were very happy. Afterwards, I am seeing Maji in December, that same year, December. And when she saw me, she called my name. I couldn't believe after 6 or 8 months, somebody is remembering my name. Then I asked her, Maji, you remember me? I remember your name, I told you, certain faces I can't forget. Then I just couldn't control my tears. I was crying in front of her. After that, I started coming to the ashram at least once or twice every year. When this corona time came, then started all the problem. We couldn't come. Once I even requested Namrata Ji whether I can come to the ashram. She said, no, Swamiji is not keeping in good health, so nobody can come. So this time, when this retreat came, I was the first one of the first to apply for it. But I thought, since I am 68 now, I thought my application will be declined, because Swamiji always says, spirituality for youngsters, spirituality for youth. I thought, gone case, I am not going to get it. From 19th to 30th, I was on pins. 30th only they said they will announce. Those who are going to get it, their names will be announced on 30th. 30th, I was waiting with my mobile for the email to come. When it came, my name was there. I was so happy. And why we are here, Swamiji? Nothing much to say. You know it very well. We all are children only in the field of spirituality. Whatever we hear, however much we hear, a lot more to go. So that is why we are here. Let us see what sort of difference it is going to make in us. We are surely going to be very, very dedicated to whatever you gurus are going to tell us. We are going to absorb it the maximum, and let us see the changes. Thank you so much. My name is Indira. I forgot to say that, and I am from Cochin. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashish Mukherjee. I come from Nasik, the place of Tambakeshwar, the place where onions are grown, place where grapes are grown, and the place where currency is there. But you cannot rob that currency, because those currencies are not numbered. So, so we know the value of currency as nothing, because it means nothing, because it is only when it is registered, the currency gets the value. So in Nasik there is no value of currency. I was watching Astha channel, and where I found Mataji and Swami Nirvishananda. But he was so technical that I was not able to understand him anything from his speeches. So then I started reading the Tattva Bodh, and then I learned Sanskrit, and then I realized that I don't understand the recitation also. It is very difficult, the Gita shlokas. Then it took 1.5 years for me to learn all the recitations of 18 chapters, 700 shlokas. And that is how I got interested. And as Mataji has said, that few shlokas in Gita have aroused their interest. So also the few shlokas in Gita I got interested, and that is how I was forced to read and recite all the shlokas in the Gita. The reasons for coming here is very simple. After I realized, okay, I am electrical, and I was into technical in the oil and gas, and then later into management. And then after coming here, I realized, back.
Mouthpiece.
Sorry.
Don't move your right hand.
Yeah. After coming here, after retirement, I realized that it's time for me to now burn all my certificates. I don't know what should I do about my bungalow. I realized that there are 15 to 16 bungalows in my area which is getting termite. It is full of termite. It's getting destroyed. So that really gave me the shock. And then I started, the Gita gave me a lot of solace, and I started realizing, pardon? Pardon? Yeah, no. I started realizing that what will I do with my house afterwards? Who will be staying there? What will I do of my furnitures? These are the questions which started coming. So I heard Mr. Swamiji saying that self-realization is not something which is a mystic experience. It's a way of life. So I want to understand that how we can change our life to understand this self-realization every day. And also I want to understand a little more about the Maya, the creation of Maya, in a way that can the Maya be created in some other way. As I was listening to Mr. Zuckerberg, he says that he can create their own world. He can create the world for me, which is different from this. So I want to understand if the Maya can be different than just the river and the mountain and what we see. So this is how the few questions, and also the little bit of the elaboration on the concept of yajna in chapter 3, that how we can use this yajna in our daily activity, how it can be realized. Thank you.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Nutan Swamiji.
Why not you fix it? Why not you fix it on the stand and you can...
Swamiji Pranam, Nutan Swamiji, Ma Pranam. My name is Vandana Trivedi. I'm from Delhi, and my background is of teaching children with special needs. As my brother mentioned, the association with Swamiji is pretty long, in the sense that my father used to attend in the 70s. But for some reason, we were involved in our careers and college and etc. So the actual association began in 2005, when a family friend gifted us a 1-year subscription of Vichar Setu. And the very first Vichar Setu had the Delhi program printed in it. So my sister, me and my nephew, Rahul, the three of us, we took turns to attend Swamiji's talks in Chinmaya Mission. That was in 2005, and it continued right up to 2018. For some reason, there was no direct interaction with Swamiji, but we were regularly attending the talks. And the first thing that struck me in the very first talk was when Swamiji addressed the entire audience as, "My dear souls, you have to believe me." And that was the first time I heard the word Brahman. The awareness, I think, began from there. And I also have to mention that it was a song of the soul which actually kind of got internalized. But on hearing it repeatedly, it just had some magical effect. 2018, as Kaushik mentioned, we have discussions in our house. So even though he stays in Bombay, we do have, very often they are discussing Prabhat Rashmi over the phone over 20, 30, 40 minutes. So that discussion led us all to come to Thrissur. My sister from USA was visiting, so she said, "Why not me?" So 4 of us had come the first time. And then after that, we have been attending workshops in Delhi. We've been going and staying in the ashram. For me, this is the 4th visit. And what prompted me to come, as I shared with Ma, was, although I'd been wanting to come, the thought was there, but somehow the fear of COVID was overpowering me. But it was when Swamiji was unwell, and I saw some pictures of Swamiji sitting and reading the Bhagavatam, and Ma and Nutan Swamiji sitting on either side, and the very thought that Swamiji is so unwell. He was in and out of the ICU. There's some internal bleeding going on, but Swamiji is sitting and reading the Bhagavatam. And here there is some issue in the stomach or some issue in the head, and we get all agitated. So that was what kind of prompted me to take a decision that I'm going anyhow. And so, and the first understanding was that you can either attend the Gurupoornima or the retreat. So I said, okay, I want to attend the Gurupoornima. I want to be for this celebration. But happily, Namrata ji said that you're not attending the retreat. So I said, can I? So she said, yes, you can attend both. So I'm here, and I hope to enrich my mind with the retreat. I've been here longer. I think this is the longest stay that I've had in any of my stays, and I'm just looking forward to the retreat. Thank you.
Very good.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji and Ma. I am Chandrasekhar from Hyderabad, working in Canara Bank as assistant manager at Karnataka, Umnavad district. I came to know about this Narayanashrama Tapovanam through Disha channel. Actually, I was doing pranayamam. While doing pranayamam, I used to see these spirituality channels, Astha, Disha, like that. So I thought of meeting Swamiji. So I inquired about this, and I came to know that Swamiji is at Kerala. So I thought it is better to interact with the Swamiji through physically, because electronically it is just saying, I cannot get anything. Just saying and doing is not important. So I thought of coming here. So in 2019 I came. I felt very happy and delighted that Swamiji has profound knowledge about the scriptures, and he is very pure, and he is very concerned about the society, and whatever he does about the people and society and all over the world. His concernedness had made me to come always. So I went to Jamshedpur also. That time Swamiji was sick. I felt sad, but I didn't get whole leave. So in the middle I left. This time I applied and I came. And as Swamiji today told, Swamiji's blessings will be with by seeing and by thinking about the devotee and by touching. I want at least among that one I want. Thank you so much.
My name is Ila Trivedi. My brother and my sister, brother Kaushik Trivedi and Vandana Trivedi, have already given you the background of how my father was associated, and we also got associated with all of you. My interest really started in 2015, but deeper interest began only post 2018, but very often I still start having questions in my mind, and therefore we have a lot of discussions in the house of what is there and what is not there, and what we have heard over YouTube and online, long discussions on the phone. And I keep feeling that I have a deep belief that the look of the Guru and interaction with the Guru will dissolve some of the granthis in my head and heart. So I'm really looking for that. And I'm hoping that the invisible will not be an abstract concept for me, and I'll become more receptive. So, Pranam Swamiji, I hope, please bless me that I learn from here and go back. Pranam. Pranam.
just want to mention to all of you that with Ila and me, we have studied in the same school, in the same batch. She was in arts and I was in science. But we had lost touch, and only after 2018, I think, I came to know each other again, and it has been a very, very happy moment ever since.
Pranam at the lotus feet of Poojya Swamiji, Newton Swamiji and Maji. Myself, Jayaraman SS, from Mumbai, age 60 years. Professionally, I have done business management, and I have worked in around 6 companies, which includes MNC and Indian companies, specialized in administration, corporate services, and also hospital administration. So which includes technical, non-technical services, plus statutory compliance and patient grievance redressal system, etc. My first darshan I got Swamiji and Maji's 1 decade ago, which was when CRD Mumbai, Shantiji has organized satsang in Goregaon Ayyappa temple. So I was not aware about Swamiji, Maji or Narayanashrama Tapovanam. I was very new. But with blessings of my mother, I used to attend a lot of religious and spiritual functions. She used to carry me when I was a kid. Sometimes I sleep, that is different. But you know, I have attended so many Srimad Bhagavatam along with my mother. So the turnaround and Swamiji Darshan was something all of a sudden, without any expectation. As usual, I came 10-15 minutes late for the program. I went to the temple. I thought I may get at least last row for darshan. But it turned out to be a massive surprise. Both the floor got jam-packed. I was standing on a door. I thought whether I can able to get a darshan of Swamiji. So then I was thinking, so one of the committee member, he told me, please come and sit on the passage. So both the sides, I was sitting on the passage. So I got a darshan. Then some committee member said, why are you sitting there? Go and sit near the stage. So I was adjusted to stage, I got a seat. Then the first time it was transformed. Since I am interested in Srimad Bhagavatam, my wife, my Dharmapatni Janaki Jayaraman, she told me that her office colleague heard Swamiji's Ekadasha Skanda, which was one of my favorite topic, because normally Ekadasha Skanda is referred by all the spiritual masters one day before the completion in the evening and the early morning. So they go in a fast, super fast. So I don't think we can able to grasp that much. So Swamiji's, that was another attraction for me to attend. So when I attended that session, which was financial year 2010 and 2011, I was totally liked the program. Then I started contacting the ashram, and my good friend, Mr. Sridharji, he helped me to have a contact with this ashram. Then he also interfaced with CRD Mumbai Chief Shantiji. So from then I started contacting the Mumbai CRD center, and we have a multiple and also one external program we have attended. So that is and the interesting part, I have never gone to any ashram. So I don't know what's the process, protocol, nothing. My mother has not taken to any ashram. So I was reluctant how to approach. Then Sridhar has helped me really. So that has given me entry into the ashram, and I have not visited any ashram. I am only concentrating this ashram. So other point, the reason for coming for the Gurupoornima retreat, it is because I have been waiting for 11 years because of my professional commitment. I overwork all the organizations. So I am attending after 11 years. So I got a real blessing from Swamiji, all the 3 Swamijis here. So I am getting a chance, and I am looking forward, how to enhance my meditation powers, and also to discover and reach invisible to temple we cannot interact. So that is the main purpose that I am focusing here. I am sure I will get this benefit towards the end of 6 days program. Pranam, thank you.
Pranams at the lotus feet of Poojya Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji and Maji. I am Janki Jayaraman. I am from Mumbai. First we came to know about Swamiji through Mukti Sudagaram. And my first interaction with Swamiji was when as he said, when we entered the Ayyappa temple hall, it was jam-packed. And I was telling him we'll go early. He said it's in Malayalam. Who is going to come in Bombay so much? But since I was watching Swamiji's program, I knew it would be jam-packed. And when we reached the hall, it was jam-packed. And I said, they said, you see in screen. I said, screen I see every day. I want to see Swamiji personally. He said, no, we can't do anything. So then one of the organizers, he asked me, Swamiji's Omkara was going on. He asked me, can you sit in the front? I said, I can sit anywhere, but I want to see Swamiji close by. So when Omkara was going, he said, you just bend and go and you sit in the front. I said, but down. He said, yeah, you sit, people will start coming. So I was the first person to sit. And when Swamiji opened his eyes, he asked me in Tamil, meaning you are sitting on the floor. Please someone give her a mat to sit. And that words is still ringing in my ears. That was somewhere in 2010. After that, we came to ashram many a times and we took Diksha. And he has never stayed for long. But of course, I have come and stayed intermittently. We used to get our child also to the ashram. My experience is, I really like here in Guru Sannidhi. I have come here to improve my Guru Bhakti. I hope I can do it. Thank you.
Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Nutan Swamiji, Pranam Ma. I am N.K. Das from Jamshedpur. I am still practicing doctor. Okay. I was listening to Swamiji since 1998. He used to come to Jamshedpur, Gyana Yagya, and I was listening to him. Then in 2007, all on a sudden, I spoke to Ma and spoke to Namrata ji that I want to meet Swamiji. That was at Jamshedpur. And luckily for me, Swamiji blessed me and he gave me Diksha there itself. And I have not looked for anything else since 2007. Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji, Ma, this ashram, it is a part of my life. That's all I would like to say.
My humble pranams to Poojya Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji and Maji. My name is Shanti Vishwanath and I am from Mumbai. And I was working for Reliance Industries for 14 years in accounts department. After that, I left my job in 2002. Before leaving the job, I had written a long letter to Swamiji. He asked me to leave the job. After that, 1 year I was sitting at home. I was feeling very lonely. Then I came to the ashram. Actually, I am associated with Swamiji from my birth. You can say my mother was a disciple of Poojya Swamiji. So I have today what I am here because of my mother only. And she has taught me everything. I used to come to the ashram from when I was very small. I used to come here, play around the ashram, very old ashram. I was here only. I used to come along with her because I was the youngest in the family. We are 7 of us, I am the youngest. She always used to carry me along with her whenever she comes here. And so I observe Swamiji and attend satsang. I don't understand anything. But I observe Swamiji very much, how he talks, and I have a fondness for Swamiji from that day itself. Then after my mother left her body in 1998, I was feeling very low. Then I started getting connected with Swamiji, again writing letters and all like. Then after leaving the job, I started coming to the ashram every year and spend time with my children and everything. I used to stay here for a month's time. And so my 14 years of service, after that I'm doing a self-business, and that is also another 18 years. But the joy I'm getting coming to the ashram, I never got from my corporate world, neither from my business. So I come here, I do service to the ashram, that joy I don't get anywhere. That is my experience. And I love to be in the company of Guru. Whenever I get a new calendar, first thing I see when is the Gurupoornima. That is what I see. So I mark that day in my memory and note it down. I've been connecting the past few years. I'm coming for Gurupoornima. Earlier I used to come for Jayanti. Now I started coming for Gurupoornima. My even children also, my son also got initiated from Swamiji. My daughter is, I don't know when Swamiji is going to bless her. And my husband is there. We all connected. My entire family is connected with ashram. And Swamiji, for me, everything is Swamiji. He is holding us like this. Thank you, Swamiji.
पूज्य स्वामी जी, नूतन स्वामी जी और माँ को मेरा प्रणाम। मनोज दुबे, जमशेदपुर में, वहाँ एक बियरिंग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी में काम करता हूँ। और 2014 में ऐसे मेरे मन में स्वाभाविक रूप से विचार आया कि आध्यात्मिकता का झुकाव हुआ है और शास्त्र पढ़ना, जानने की इच्छा अचानक से हुई। घर में कोई पृष्ठभूमि नहीं है, ऐसे साधारण पूजा पाठ घर में चलता था। तो मैं किसी सत्संग में गया, भगवद गीता के सत्संग में, और वहाँ मालूम पड़ा कि आध्यात्मिक उन्नति के लिए गुरु के पास जाना आवश्यक है। तो मैं अपने स्तर से गुरु ढूंढने का प्रयत्न किया कि किसके पास जाना चाहिए। किसी गुरु के पास मैं कभी गया नहीं था, किसी प्रवचन में भी जाता नहीं था। तो अपने स्तर से जिनको जानता था टीवी में, उनको ऐसे संपर्क करने का कोशिश किया, लेकिन वो नहीं हुआ। 2015 में अचानक ही पेपर में पढ़ा, न्यूज़पेपर में, कि कोई स्वामी जी आए हैं और सोनारी में वहाँ भगवद गीता पर सत्संग है। तो मैं पेपर कटिंग को लेके खोजते हुए CIRD गया और नूतन स्वामी जी का उस समय वहाँ प्रोग्राम था। तो वहाँ जाके मिला तो लोगों ने कहा इंग्लिश में है। ठीक है, जितना समझ में आएगा, नहीं तो कम से कम दर्शन करेंगे, बैठेंगे। और जाने के बाद बहुत अच्छा लगा। फिर नूतन स्वामी जी से अलग से मिला भी, उनको बताया मेरे मन में क्या है। उन्होंने कहा फरवरी में स्वामी जी आते हैं, उनसे मिलो। फिर 2015 में स्वामी जी आए, तो मैं जब उनको देखा तो मैं समझ गया कि मैं इन्हीं को खोज रहा हूँ। उसके बाद से हर वर्ष आता हूँ। 2015 में भी आया था, 16, 17, 18, 19, प्रत्येक वर्ष आता हूँ। 19 में पहली बार गुरुपूर्णिमा के समय आया था। उसके बाद 2 साल बंद ही था, फिर पिछले साल नवंबर में भी आया था। आने का कारण है कि शिष्य कहाँ जाएगा, गुरु के पास ही आएगा। तो इसलिए हमेशा ही हम चाहते हैं कि आए।
I am Ganesh Kumari from Nagarkoil. I came to know about Swamiji through Mukti Sudhakaram. And for the Gurupoornima retreat, I am coming because first time when Swamiji told about Gurupoornima, he told during Gurupoornima and the Chadar Masya, we should be in association with the Guru. You have to study what he is teaching, like that. So at that time itself, I thought, on all the Gurupoornima, I should come, the retreat I should I should attend. So afterwards, all the Gurupoornima retreats, if it is physically it is there, means I have attended here. Then the next reason is I want to be a volunteer here. And the third one is I want to refine myself. That's
Jai Guru, Ashwani Kumar from Delhi.
I have been associated with Swamiji for more than 18 years. I did my M.Tech in computer science and was directors in various telecom MNC, but I left my professional pursuit voluntarily 10 years back, and since then I have been associated with Swamiji and his socio-spiritual initiatives like CIRD, FRNVs and so on. So my reason for coming here is always to gain enriching experience by listening to and observing Swamiji, Nutan Swamiji Ma, and interaction with fellow devotees. I have been coming to Gurupoornima since my initiation in 2004 every year, except a gap of 3 years from 2018 onward because of COVID. And every year interact with new fellow devotees has been an enriching experience. Thank you.
Jai Guru. I am Maya. I am a civil engineer by training, though I have been a housewife all along. We have been associated with Swamiji, myself and my husband. Both of us have been associated with Swamiji since 2011 November. We met Swamiji in Delhi during a Chinmaya Mission, one of the Chinmaya Mission lectures during that time. Since then we have been coming to Swamiji's all along, and we have attended a lot of Gurupoornima retreats also. Since last 2.5 years, we have been staying in the ashram. We have relocated. We were in Philippines and we relocated to Kerala. We are basically from Kerala. We have relocated since 2019. So since 2019 Gurupoornima, we have been in Kerala, and mostly we have been staying in the ashram, and we had the opportunity to serve Swamiji very closely, myself and my husband. Now we have bought a flat quite near, just hardly 6 kilometers from here, from the ashram, and we are stayed up there. It is only 4 months back, 3-4 months back that we have shifted. So now we have again come here for the retreat. Our experience have been very good. As Swamiji was saying, the ashram is giving us both knowledge as well as fulfillment. And I think I have been able to imbibe a lot of knowledge, though the fulfillment part I have not been able to get because of my own defects of my own mind. I hope that also I will be able to, that gap I will be able to overcome with Swamiji's blessings. Thank you.
Jai Guru. My name is Rajesh. I'm Maya's husband. So we came in touch with the ashram in 2011 when we were staying in Delhi. So we came through CIRD Vasundhara, where not only we attended Chinmaya Mission annual talk series of Poojya Swamiji, we got an opportunity to attend the experiential Vedanta workshop, which was like a life-changing event for both of us. Ever since, we have been in regular touch with the ashram. By the way, I am from Ernakulam, which is the adjoining district, though we are living in Thrissur since 2019. I am a market knowledge, consumer research and analytics professional. I also teach on and off in business schools. So we are here. We have been attending the retreat very regularly since 2014, but for an interruption in 2018. Even during the COVID, when things were online, we were here attending. So we are attending this time as well. So there was no formality as such this year. I was not sure we were attending, but then we are attending. Jai Guru.
before their flat got ready.
स्वामी जी, पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरणों में प्रणाम। माँ एवं नूतन स्वामी जी के चरणों में भी प्रणाम। मेरा नाम तपस्विनी दास है। मैं जमशेदपुर झारखंड से आई हूँ। मैं स्वामी जी से बहुत सालों से 40 साल हो गए जुड़ी हुई हूँ। मेरे बड़े भैया उस स्वामी जी से 67 में दीक्षा लिए थे। उन दिनों में मैं यही जानती थी स्वामी जी मेरे भैया के गुरु हैं, लेकिन परिस्थिति बस मैं स्वामी जी के पास 81 में आई और उसके बाद उन्हीं की होके ही रह गई। माँ की नज़र मेरे पर पड़ी थी। मैं स्वामी जी के पास आती थी, मैंने कभी कुछ पूछा नहीं, बस वो मुझे अच्छे लगते थे, मैं उनका प्रवचन सुनती थी। और उसके बाद धीरे धीरे जब थोड़ा और कुछ समय बीता तो मैं अन्य क्षेत्र में थोड़ा सहायता करने लगी। सर्विंग करना ही काम था और कुछ नहीं उन दिनों में। तो लेकिन जब माँ संन्यास ले ली, माँ लोग जब आने लगे, मुझे नूतन स्वामी जी उन सभी बीचों में दोनों अलग ही लगते थे। जो भी हो, तो संन्यास लेने के बाद माँ ने मुझे एक दिन पूछा था, मैं उनके पास विचलित होकर कुछ बातें बताई। तब माँ स्वामी जी को लगा कि उन्होंने मुझे दीक्षा दिया, क्योंकि तब तक 12 साल हो चुका था स्वामी जी के पास आके, लेकिन दीक्षा मुझे मिला नहीं था। माँ के कहने पर भी माँ ने कहा स्वामी जी को, आपने इसे दीक्षा नहीं दिया। स्वामी जी बोले, अरे तुमको मैंने दीक्षा दिया है ना। मैंने कहा नहीं स्वामी जी, नहीं दीक्षा दिया। तो बोले अच्छा ठीक है। फिर उसी में ही एक दिन के बाद ही शिवरात्रि था, उस दिन स्वामी जी ने मुझे दीक्षा दिया। स्वामी जी ने दीक्षा दिया, अंदर एक दिया तो जलाया। दिया को प्रज्वलित करना मेरा काम था, लेकिन मैंने उसे उस तरह से प्रज्वलित किया नहीं। हाँ, उसे मैंने बुझने भी नहीं दिया, क्योंकि हर फरवरी में स्वामी जी आते थे और शायद यही कारण था, उनका सानिध्य मिलता रहता था, शायद इसीलिए वो दिया बुझता नहीं। लेकिन जब मैं फिर नौकरी मिली, मेरी ये 40 साल की ज़िंदगी जो भी है, जो भी जिस तरह से भी उसमें बीता, परेशानी आई है, कुछ भी हुआ, मैं उन्हें कभी छोड़ा नहीं। मैं उन्हें हमेशा याद करते, उन्हीं को याद करते हुए अपने सारे ये समय को बिताया, और वो बीतता ही चला गया। फिर 17 में मैं यहाँ पर आई। मेरी माँ मेरी काफ़ी उम्रदार थी। तो 17 में आके मैंने पहली बार यहाँ 1 महीना रहा। उस 1 महीना के प्रवास के दौरान मुझे लगा कि ये जगह वही है जहाँ मुझे रहना चाहिए, लेकिन मैं न रह पाई थी, चले गए। और 18 का दिसंबर में माँ की मृत्यु हो गई। 19 में फरवरी में स्वामी जी आए। मैंने कहा कि मैं आश्रम आना चाहती हूँ। स्वामी जी बोले, मैंने ऐसा कहा कि आप अगर अनुमति देंगे तो मैं कुछ दिन आश्रम आके रहना चाहती हूँ। स्वामी जी बोले, आने के लिए तुम्हें अनुमति की चाहिए, आ जाओ। बस उनका जो कहना जो रहता है ना, एकदम सहज रूप से, वो पता नहीं कहाँ मेरे मन को लग जाता है। और मैं आ गई। आके उस समय करीब 7-8 महीना रही। फिर नूतन स्वामी जी का शिविर था नवंबर में, मैं वापस चली गई। 20 में स्वामी जी फरवरी में आए। उस समय स्वामी जी गिर गए थे, अस्वस्थ थे, जो भी था वो काफ़ी दिन रहे। तो मेरा कुछ काम था, मैंने कहा माँ को कि माँ आप लोग जाइए, मैं मार्च के अंत में या अप्रैल के में, लेकिन उसके पहले ही कोविड हो गया। इन कोविड के दौरान मैं आ नहीं पाई। उसके बाद चलता ही रहा ऐसा। फिर बीच बीच में नम्रता जी से बातें होती रहती थी, कभी कभी पूछताछ करते रहते थे, क्योंकि यहाँ पर आने के बाद यूटीआई का प्रॉब्लम के स्वामी जी बहुत अस्वस्थ हो गए थे, ये सब के मालूम होता था, तो उनसे पूछ लिया करती थी। मैं कभी स्वामी जी या माँ को नहीं फ़ोन करती। फिर उसमें ये हुआ कि अभी 2021 में अचानक से एक दिन नम्रता जी का एक मैसेज आया, फ़ोन नहीं मैसेज था। उनमें सिर्फ लिखा था कि दीदी मनोज दुबे 14 नवंबर को आ रहे हैं, आप आ जाओ। मैं तैयार भी नहीं थी, ये कैसे मैं आ जाऊँ, मैंने ऐसा ही सोचा। तो मैंने उनको, क्योंकि मैं उन दिनों में 19 में जब मैं वापस गई थी, मैंने कहा था कि मैं कुछ दिन अगर स्वामी जी की अनुमति हो, नवंबर में जब नूतन स्वामी जी वहाँ पर थे, तो मैंने नूतन स्वामी जी को कहा था कि अगर स्वामी जी की अनुमति हो तो मैं इस CIRD में रहना चाहती हूँ, मुझे घर में रहना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। तो नूतन स्वामी जी मुझे पूछे तुम अकेली कैसे रहोगी, तबीयत ठीक रहेगा, क्या होगा, खाना बनाना। स्वामी जी मैं सब कर लूँगी। तो नूतन स्वामी जी यहाँ आश्रम फ़ोन किया, स्वामी जी ने अनुमति दिया और मैं वहाँ पर रहने लगी। फरवरी में स्वामी जी गए, फिर लौट के आना था लेकिन मैं नहीं आ पाई, कोविड के कारण नहीं आ पाई। और फिर इस बार जो है नम्रता जी का जब फ़ोन आया तो मैं फिर तैयार हो गई। स्वामी जी से एक दिन बात किए, स्वामी जी बोले आ जाओ। तो उसके बाद मैं नवंबर से अभी यहीं पर हूँ। और गुरु सन्निधि में रहने से क्या होता है ये उनके पास रहने वाले ही समझ सकते हैं। हम जो प्रतिदिन उनके पास रह के उनके कामों में तीनों से जो हम सुनते हैं वो तो सुनते ही हैं, उसका हम मनन करते हैं। और जैसे नूतन स्वामी जी कहते हैं कि हर काम को करते हुए उसको अटेंटिवली करो, तो वो अपने आप में एक ध्यान ही होता है। मैंने एक दिन स्वामी जी को कहा, स्वामी जी ने मुझे कहा तुम्हें कुछ पूछना है तो पूछो। तो मैंने एक दिन जाके पूछा कि स्वामी जी सभी तो ध्यान के बारे में बातें करते, मैं तो कभी ध्यान उन करती भी नहीं हूँ। स्वामी जी बोले तुम जो करती हो वही सब करो, उसी में सब कुछ होगा। बस मैं अपना जो आश्रम में जो भी काम मिलता है उसे करती हूँ और जो प्रवचन मैं सुनती हूँ सारा तो मैं नहीं ऑब्जर्व कर पाती हूँ, क्योंकि जो थोड़ा जो भी तीनों से जो भी मुझे मिलता उसको मैं लिखती भी हूँ और उसका मनन करती हूँ। उसके कारण अभी कुछ दिन पहले स्वामी जी ने मुझे कहा क्या हुई, तुम्हारे चेहरे में उतना रौनक नहीं है, रेडिएंट नहीं है। मैंने सोचा मैं क्यों स्वामी जी ने ऐसा क्यों कहा। मुझे किसी प्रकार की कोई भी तकलीफ नहीं है। शारीरिक जो है वो है, कुछ थोड़ी बहुत है, पैर में तकलीफ होता है वो तो होते रहता है। और क्यों स्वामी जी ने ऐसा कहा, उसको सोचते हुए मुझे लगा कि हाँ मेरे मन में हमेशा रहता कि इतना समय जो है व्यर्थ चला गया। तो मैंने वही बात फिर एक दिन और स्वामी जी को कहा कि स्वामी जी ऐसा सोचते हैं, ऐसे ही मेरे मन में मैं कुछ भी सोचते रहती हूँ तो मेरे वो पास्ट जो है वो सब याद आते हैं। स्वामी जी बोले जो हो गया सो हो गया, नया से तुम शुरू करो। तो फिर मैंने नया से शुरू किया। आगे मैं नहीं जानती हूँ, मैं इतना समझ गई हूँ, भले ही मैं उनको मैं उनका कुछ न करूँ लेकिन वो हमेशा है और हमेशा रहेंगे। और जहाँ तक मुझे मेरा अपना जो प्रयास है और उनकी कृपा से वो मुझे जहाँ तक जाना है वो जाएगा। मैं और किसी चीज़ की कोई आशा भी नहीं करती हूँ, बस वो जो कहते हैं तीनों गुरुओं से जो मिलता है उसी का अनुसरण कर रही हूँ। जय गुरु।
Jai Guru. Pranams at the holy lotus feet of Poojya Swamiji, Nuthan Swamiji and Ma. I am Srinivasan from Chennai. I am professionally engineer, having worked for 6 big corporate houses at various positions. And the final one was our own venture of making LED light fittings. I was a co-founder, and the business is almost now wound up. And it is at the final leg of finding, and still I am in the board, and this is what I have to tell. As for my expectation on my relationship with Swamiji, I am a child, a very, very small and tender child. Nothing else I want to say more. Rest is all Swamiji, Swamiji, Swamiji. Jai Gurudev.
I am Lakshmi Narayanan from Delhi. Namrata ji, my name is too long. Namrata ji shortened me as Ellen. So everybody calls me as Ellen. I am blessed to be associated with Swamiji. And I am, like many of the listeners or here, I am also one among the disciples. And I would like to be known only as Swamiji's disciple. Thank you. Jai Guru.
Swamiji, pranams. Swamiji, should we conclude today's session? Yes, Swamiji. The ashramites will do another day the introductions. The introduction of the ashramites we will do tomorrow or day after. I think many of you out there have really enjoyed hearing from all of those who are fortunate and blessed enough to be over here. We're now going to conclude. We have a few retreat-related announcements for all of you. Early morning tea is 5:30. The gates will open by 5:20 to enable all of you to come in. And I think everyone has received a retreat schedule. So we would be concluding now. And live stream, it's still on, okay. And then we'll do pranams to Swamiji from wherever we are and conclude the whole session.
Samvedya varjitamannuttamamekamadyam samvidpadam vigalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishtha kalanarahita kriyam tu kurvan akartrapadamethya samodidashri kurvan akartrapadamethya samodidashri. Hari 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 Om Tats. We shall have a concluding Omkara recitation jointly as we had in the beginning once. Take your mudra for it. You already know. Okay. Hari Om.